I was watching what you're saying,
On
guys.
camera.
You're out there for the world to see.
Hey, buddy, I got some more bottles. Holiday season, I'm gonna get a
So if I
bunch.
hit him with my cane, nobody's gonna see it.
I only say it's unusual. The rest of them, we don't fool with.
I'm,
How you doing, young man?
How you doing? I've been trying to do it.
I have no clue.
Shut that down.
Yeah, I refused last time we did it again. Old business.
It's going okay, but I just,
Can I ask any
I want to have a clean cut.
Yeah.
That's where my.
That's some good though.
Family's on too.
I think.
I finally brought down the side, I'm gonna order, so I got it coming.
What?
Got
I had to leave.
bottle cutter, glass bottle cutter.
Do we get paid to be on this?
Nothing.
I think it's right.
It's the right thing to do.
No, I don't.
I would just rather gone out and listened. So I know what's going on.
Kellyton's hard to come hold of, and you'll know if it's Kellyton, you're gonna pay for it.
$40.
Huh?
$40.
Oh, hell, Kellyton, won't even touch it. That's
That's what he paid for his.
How do you not know? And then you have to explain.
Can't tell you, you're asking the wrong person.
Because you are required to be on it.
Yep.
I'm chosen to be on it.
Every,
get the trueness of
every
it.
county has
That's
to
my problem, what I'm
have,
doing.
No, I just say the unusual ones, the rest of them I get rid
Well,
of.
I think every
Since they,
county required to have a
Holiday season.
council.
Two, the chair recognizes a quorum. I'd like to welcome everyone to our December Planning Commission meeting. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from November? Any questions or corrections to the minutes? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I move we approve the minutes as sent.
Mr. Rumball moves and have the minutes accepted as presented. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Patrick, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approval of agenda. Is there any corrections or additions to the agenda? If not, I'll call for a motion. Mr. Hale, do we have a second? Mr. Patrick, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now, before we get started on any of the business, do we have anyone that needs to recuse himself or for conflict of interest of any of the agenda items?
Recuse myself from items A and B on the old business.
Okay. Any other? Okay. Well, we'll move on. Old business, we'll have to ask you to leave the room. Thank you. Moving on, we're into old business. Public hearing for petition S-2009, the final plat approval. Holloway Engineering, on behalf of Barbara Fields, is requesting a final approval of a 3-lot minor plat. Property is located in Madison Township, 13721 North Paddock Road.
Appreciate it.
I think we okayed this last time, it's just a second on it, isn't it? Did we okay this one?
Thank you. I'm John Larison, Holloway Engineering. First of all, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for your dedication to the county. Really appreciate your attendance. I'm here on behalf of Zach Overton, Steve Overton, and Barbara Fields. This is the Overton Fields minor plat. Barbara is the owner, current owner of the 8.75 acre parcel, and the Overtons, Zach and Steve, are the prospective buyers. They would like to divide the property into 3 lots as shown in your handout. Zach is currently and plans to live in the house, existing house on Lot 1, while he builds his house on Lot 2 and his father's residence on Lot 3. We're here again tonight, obviously because of the access issue. We made a lot of progress in the past month. The Overtons did secure 50-foot wide easements across each of the first 3 adjoining parcels. On the south side being Horsley, Godwin, and Hacker. A couple of those may be in attendance tonight as well. We also, as we were asked, notified the entire subdivision. Each owner of land in the subdivision was given the notice that this was going on with details. And we added two very slight changes to this plat since last month. The first being the first sheet that you got. It shows the temporary driveway crossing across the back half of Lot 1 and then across Lot 2 and into Lot 3. That was for the purpose, if you remember, we added a covenant that said there will be no construction traffic on East Triple Crown Lane. That was more or less at the request of the concern of the county surveyor that those pipes are old and probably at least stand a chance to be broken by extremely heavy concrete trucks, etc. So we did add that to the second page of the plat. That is item number 4 in the developer certification dedication. We also added number 3, the owners of lots 2 and 3 created here and should be responsible for their prorated share of all costs of maintenance and repair of the common roadway known as Triple Crown Lane per the joint easement and maintenance agreement, deed record and page. That first page is just an exhibit. That is not the plat. I just wanted to show you graphically what we had in mind for the temporary driveway and construction deliveries. Having said that, we feel like we've accomplished each of the goals that you set out for us, and we'll take questions.
Was there any questions from the rest, or no interest from the rest of the people on Triple Crown Lane?
We have now fulfilled the county's requirements for a joiner notification, which is 660 feet or 2 deep. We've posted a sign on that end of the project, clearly visible from Triple Crown Lane, and we've notified by U.S. mail each landowner. I think we've exhausted that effort and done everything that carried them to the meeting. So we do have some folks in the audience. I don't know if they're for or against, so I'll turn it over for any other questions or if any of them are signed up to speak.
On the original way that was platted out, and I've been told that there have been lots that were then divided again,
There have been.
and how did that go down with the original road maintenance agreement?
I would say probably, understand that is not a platted subdivision.
Yeah.
That is an unplatted division of parcels. The legal descriptions are meets and bounds legal descriptions. They're not locked in platted subdivision. I suspect that that probably had something to do with the very loose way that the whole thing has been managed and developed. But you're right, one owner did divide, I believe it was 10 acres into 10 one-acre parcels there, and I'm sure that they didn't go through any plan commission activity to do it. I'm familiar with the folks that developed it, and I highly doubt that they came to the plan commission.
And no other questions?
So, John, you do have, I'm just going over our last meeting, and the motion was that Mr. Overton was going to get signed easement agreements with the adjoiners, and you have notified all the owners along that drive, correct?
That's correct, and he is here and has that
Okay.
document in hand.
Well, there's 3 parcels that he had to get easements off of?
It was, yes, Horsley, Hacker, and Godwin. He has an original here tonight and said that he would make that available for you to make copies, if you'd like to have those.
Are they recorded yet? They're not recorded at this time, are they?
No, only signed and notarized.
You will want the recorded copies, correct, Laura? Yeah. So, the copies we'll need will be the recorded copies. Any other questions for Mr. Larison at this time? No? All right, thank you. Do we have any staff reports on this one? Okay. It is, the staff reports are on the documents. All right, we will go on to support of the petition. Zach, Mr. Overton, would you like to speak? Not unless there's any questions. Mrs. Collins, would you like to speak? No. Or Mr. Collins, neither one? Okay. Ms. Griffin? Come on up to the, if you will, come up to the mic, please.
Hi, I'm Ann Griffin, and I live at the very end of Triple Crown Lane. And I guess our only concern from my end is that we've put a whole lot of time and sweat and money into this road over the last several years. And so we just want to make sure, I think we've put between Hackers and our road fund at least $18,000 in the last 2 years. So our biggest concern is just to make sure that moving forward, that if there's any damage done to either the drainage or the road itself, that it's repaired, and put back just the way it is. I don't think any of you guys have seen the road where it came from, but they were gonna stop delivering our mail. It was so bad. It was terrible. So that's all. We just want to protect our interest, what we've done. And I mean, we'd love to have these guys as neighbors. Absolutely. We'd love to have you. We just want to make sure that, you know, that the road's put back if anything happens to it, and the drainage is addressed. So,
And I was part of all that, the Triple Crown, when you come in trying to get the county to take over, so I was part of all of that.
We've
so.
been through so much with that road.
Yeah.
That's our only biggest concern, is just the integrity of the road.
Okay.
And moving forward, that, you know, you contribute to the maintenance fund, which is just kind of a gentleman's agreement. It's nothing official.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Wesley Fields, would you like to talk?
On another one, he accidentally.
Oh. Never mind. Steve Overton, would you like to speak? You're welcome to, if you'd like to. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't have invited him, right?
Sorry I missed the last meeting. I appreciate everybody's effort, and I finally get to meet Laura. I've talked to her several times. And, you know, our whole goal, from my standpoint as a father, I'd like to have a place where my son can reside, we can reside. I have two other boys that, you know, we want to work something out with maybe in the future. And so that was our whole intention. Now, as far as any issues with the road, I mean, we plan on cutting on the paddock for the construction traffic, keep it off of there. Does that mean that, you know, we've got every dump truck driver knows that they got to make sure they don't go down through there? I mean, we're going to make sure we have signs up. We're going to talk to the construction people and make sure that they are aware that you don't go down that lane. So, I mean, we'll do everything we possibly can, but, you know, we want to be good neighbors. You know, I've always had good neighbors, and, you know, we've met several of the people now, and they're all good people. So, you know, our whole point is, you know, we don't want to cause any issues. We want to, you know, maybe even help resolve some of them. So, you know, that's all I really wanted to say. I appreciate it, and, you know, thanks for the effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Hacker, would you like to speak? Mr. Hacker? You can come speak, that's fine.
So I'd just like to reinforce what Zach had said earlier about the roadway access agreement that's been put together. Ann pointed out that we were concerned about the road repair, the drainage, and the construction traffic. And in this document, I feel that, worked with Zach a little bit on it, all those demands are represented fairly in this. So as far as this living document being filed, I'm not really certain on where that document will live. And one of my concerns with Zach was we're actually making this agreement with Barb Fields so we can get the plat approved and then the rezoning. So the language in here contains an element that makes this agreement go forward in perpetuity. So it stays with the land, not with the current residents. So that's the way I understand the agreement. If that is true, that makes me feel satisfied. Any comments or questions?
Thank you.
Need that back.
Okay. We have no one in opposition signed up to speak. You'd like to add anything? Okay. This closes our public portion of the hearing. It's open to debate.
We keep alluding to this drainage tile into the road. Whose responsibility is that? Triple Crown Lanes or the property owner who's draining his lake across that?
It'll be every residence on Triple Crown Lane because it's part of the road system.
But not the person who's draining across that?
No, no.
All the question I had.
'Cause I'm not sure when it's placed, but I think it was placed when the road was put in, if I remember right. So, it's been there for a long time, you know.
And
Indication that they had,
it still has some problems right there.
Oh, no,
that
there's
drainage end of it,
There's definitely problems
but
right
it's
there.
100% almost better than it was a year ago.
They've done a lot of work to it. Those pipes haven't been replaced though, and there's been water standing in those pipes for years. Structurally, they're not, I don't know how sound they are structurally.
Yeah, no, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Years ago, I can't remember how many years ago, the county took on looking at that road. And they went for a Barrett law to try to get funding for it. The county put roughly $20,000 into the engineering of it. It come back, gonna cost $350,000 to $400,000 to bring that road up to county specs. Because there was very little drainage along the road. The road was not, it wasn't put into county specs. And it got too costly for the residents to go ahead and go with that Barrett law. So that's where that stands, because when she mentioned, they've been through a lot, they have been through a lot with that road.
Yeah,
That road
they
was
have done a lot
horrible.
with it.
It's a lot better than it was, but it was
Oh, yeah.
horrible,
Tremendously a lot better.
tremendously better. Any other comments or discussion? The only issue I have is giving access off of a private property to a subdivision. Is the only issue I have with it. I understand why Mr. Overton wants to do it. So, but, given public access to, on a private lane, I just don't like doing that for a subdivision. So. Any other comments? If not, I'll call for a motion.
one other question, you have an easement vacated between these lots. That's a question on your technical report. Do you have that satisfied to your satisfaction?
Do what?
A technical report on yours and the vacate. That's Fields?
It's a different one, I believe, Bill, I think.
I've turned one page to me, I'm sorry.
I think that's on,
That's a vacate replat.
that's a vacate replat, correct? Because I had an easement in between the lot. That's a different one, Bill. That's, which one is that one, Sandy?
Cedar Run.
Cedar Run, yes. Yeah, that's Cedar Run. So I'll call for a motion again.
Go ahead and make a motion. We approve the final plat for petition docket S-20-09. Condition, making sure that that road maintenance agreement does get recorded and get to the planning commission's office. And that's all I have.
Mr. Held made a motion to approve the plat with the recording of the easement and submitted to the thing, seconded by Mr. Fred. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, aye. Motion passes. It's approved. The next one is it's a petition, a public hearing for petition Z 2012 to rezone. Mr. Holloway is representing Mrs. Fields again for same piece of property.
Yeah.
Mr. Larison?
Thank you. Your subdivision control ordinance requires that we rezone all lots that are subdivided, major or minor plats. So we are asking for that rezone from ag to R1. We're doing 2.5 acre lots. while the entire Triple Crown Estates is zoned agricultural, our properties in size are as large as or larger than most of the properties in Triple Crown Lane. It's, the residential zoning is pretty common in the area. That's mostly what the area is, besides the golf course, which is west of the roadway.
Any questions for Mr. Larson? Thanks, Mr. Larson. Sandy says we have no one down to speak on support or against this. We have our staff report in your packet. We will close the public portion of this hearing if you don't have any other questions for Mr. Larson. All right, the public portion of the hearing is closed. Any discussion on the petition? If not, I'll call for a motion. Mr. Rumbaugh?
I would move to send to the commissioners with our approval, docket Z-20-12.
Do we have a second to recommend approval, the rezone to the commissioners? Robert, second. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? Motion passes. All right.
Did I hit you? I'm sorry.
No, it was my chair.
Oh, did I? Good, I'm glad I didn't hit you.
But then you did. But it's
Well, I
okay.
touched you.
It's all
Didn't
right.
hit you, I didn't go, like I did before.
You're fine.
Thank you.
I'm just teasing.
I know, I wouldn't hit you for that. That don't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we were making things way too easy for you tonight. We're making things way too easy for you tonight. I know. I remember when you left.
All right, let's move on. Ready for new business. S 2011 to vacate replat. Holloway Engineering, on behalf of Christopher and Robin Lemon, is requesting to vacate and replat 2 lots in Cedar Run subdivision. Property is located in Green Township at 8245 and 8277 Cottonwood Drive. Mr. Larson?
I'm going to hand out another handout to you. The only change on this handout is that we have addressed the one single comment that we had from county surveyor.
Be the next one. Fields is here. Thank you, John.
again, the only change was to reflect the comment from county surveyor. There is a 10-foot wide utility and drainage easement off of each side of that common lot line that we're vacating. We've had utilities located on the ground, and there is nothing along that line for this
That line.
vacation to vacate. No utilities, there's no drainage swale along that line, so we're very confident that there won't be any negative impact.
You're gonna take that off?
Well, that change that I added to the plat says that it is vacated. If you look there along the line,
Yeah.
it says former 10-foot wide drainage and utility easement vacated.
Okay. Yeah, that's not really a question. I saw that was still there, and it's like, if you want to build across that, then you'd have to come back for a variance or anything, right?
I made the mistake of thinking that it would automatically go with the lot line. I understand you're thinking that it needed to be vacated
Yeah.
specifically, so we did make that.
Yeah, as long as there's no, utilities in there, and it doesn't have a drainage effect, yeah. It'd be best to remove it.
So this is Cedar Run, Section 2. We've actually been in here a couple of times combining lots in this subdivision. Keep in mind that these are 1-acre lots. Lot 54 actually is 1 acre, and an estimation of probably 30 to 35% of that 1 acre is in that pond. These homes are on septic fields. So in order to build the house that the Lemons would like to build, they would really have had to shoehorn that in on 54. Naturally, they do want to build on lot 54 because that's the more attractive of the two. It's a very, very well-maintained pond. And combining lot 54 and lot 55 to make lot 54R really makes for a good-sized residential lot. I was out earlier today, and there are just a lot of very nice homes on these lots, and it looks like many of them have built possibly on a lot, and then they've got the next lot over, and they're not combined. But these folks, again, they do want to combine it, vacate that easement along the lot line, and their plan is to build toward the west side of the combined lot over toward the pond. And septic naturally would be on the remainder of the lot. Very simple situation, big house, big septic field, small lots. It really makes a lot of common sense to combine these. I think they were a little bit overly ambitious when they platted the subdivision, frankly. That's all I have for you.
Do you say they're on septics?
They are on septic.
Some of those houses are so big, they almost need 2 lots then to build on. Yeah. Any other questions for Mr. Larison? Nope. All right, thank you, Mr. Larison. Get the staff reports in your packet. All right, we have no one else signed up, correct? Okay, that closes the public portion of our hearing. Any discussion within the board?
This is logical.
If no other discussion, I'll call for a motion. Mr. Rumbaugh?
Move. Let me get my right paperwork here. On petition S-20-11 to vacate and replat lots in Cedar Run subdivision and send to the commissioners with a favorable recommendation.
A motion from Mr. Rumbaugh to approve the vacate replat.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. That one's done. This one. All right, our next one. It looks like you again, huh, Mr. Larson? Public hearing, a petition for S 2012 for preliminary and final plat. Holloway Engineering, on behalf of Mr. Wesley and Julie Fields, is requesting approval for a two-lot minor plat. The property is in Gregg Township at 6111 State Road 142. Mr. Larson?
Thank you. We are attempting to minor plat the 9-acre parcel into 2 parcels. You can see they're 2.7 acres and 5.3 acres in size. Nice big wooded residential lots. There are 2 really good building sites on this 9 acres, and Mr. Fields lives on one of those in the existing house on lot 1. And he's actually selling lot 2 and going to build for a personal friend of his on lot 2. I've got contours, a contour map, if any of you are interested in seeing the contours of the property. Just basically a heavily wooded hill, a couple of hilltops and ravines property, just perfect for 2 rural-type residences. That's all I have for you, if you have any questions.
Only question, they have no access to that other easement, do they?
I'm sorry?
They have no access to easement to the west?
They've talked with him and may very well in the future, but they plan to put a driveway in on State Road 142.
Any other questions for Mr. Larson? Thank you, Mr. Larson. Mr. Fields, would you like to talk? Nope, you're good? Okay. Your staff reports are in your packets? Okay. Well, no one has signed up as opposition. So this closes the public portion of the hearing. Any discussion from the board? If no discussion, I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion, we approve petition S-20-12 on the preliminary final plat for the Fields.
Mr. Hale makes the motion to approve the preliminary and final plat. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Fields, you can stay for the next one. Is this his? Oh, yeah, it is his. Never mind. Never mind. I'm getting caught up here. I thought we had a different one. All right. Petition Z 2014 to rezone. Mr. Larison for Holloway Engineering on behalf of Wesley and Julie Fields is requesting rezone of property from Ag to R1. Property is in Gregg Township at 6111 State Road 142. Mr. Larison.
Like our first minor subdivision, this one also is required to be rezoned. All of the surrounding areas are agriculture. Again, we're requesting rezoning to R1 from ag for the two lots. In the interest of time, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Larison? I think he wants to get home. All right, thank you, Mr. Larison. We have no one signed up? So that closes the public portion of the hearing. Any comments or discussion within the board? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept the public hearing petition Z 20-14 to rezone for Ms. Fields.
So you recommend to the commissioners for the rezone?
Yes.
Favorable recommendation to the commissioners. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That'll be heard.
Didn't put the commissioner's part in there, did I?
No.
Have to say that.
Well, that's where,
Why we're here.
if it's in the commissioner's part,
Yeah.
they give us him.
To go to there.
Yeah, they give us him. They didn't give us him, so they did class. But that's okay.
Yeah, put that note in there.
Driveway up to 142, right? I didn't ask that question, did you know? Because there's not a hidden key or nothing.
It's pretty straightforward there, that.
Okay. It looked like it on the map, but I was gonna ask him if he's got the moving pictures that I could call.
Pretty straightforward, and I drove out
I
there.
hadn't seen him in a
Drove
while.
down Wyatt Earp Range, back,
Where'd he go?
feel of it and everything.
West, they didn't go to Key West?
Did, no, they went to did Fort Myers this time.
Oh, okay.
That's on the other side of the road though, right? Cricket.
Did they shut it down? I just know normally he goes Key West because it's warmer. He likes that, as warm as he can get, so.
I'm fine. Get everything sent back, and are you gonna have an auction for any of the rest of his equipment, or?
Right now, we kind of blocked off the auction and stuff right now. We didn't set on it for a while.
No kidding.
We have got 4 people.
My signature gets worse every one I sign. No one can copy it, that's for sure, because it's never the same.
What town is this close to?
It's east of Newcastle. So we're gonna sit down, right now, we're just gonna
Make it
things
that way.
mellow out. I got all the crops in, got all that paperwork all in, the accountants and stuff, and
Did you find anything out in that road, or did you talk to anybody?
paperwork to return back, and we're not even.
McKinney about it, and he,
Sitting on corn and beans?
Beg your pardon?
Sitting on
to
corn and beans?
find what kind of agreement they have.
Wanna buy some?
At, today's prices or
Kenny?
2 days ago?
Drive or Wooden Drive?
Or Friday's prices?
They're floating around everywhere, aren't they?
If you look right now, it's been changed on some of the paperwork.
I know, but the county,
I
the
think
county,
they're
we
going
put
up.
it in and we paid for it.
But
They already come with the guardrail.
I think right now,
Tearing that road up.
with the turmoil,
Over by the
politics
hospital.
right now is driving a lot of it, I think.
At any given minute, there's
Of course, I could be all wrong, as I say, I'm,
Dump trucks are just, from daybreak
Burn
till,
that up.
boom, 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 just hauling
not
dirt
even
in,
6
trying to
months
build
back
that
in
hill.
the farm and 50 years out of it, you know?
City's trying to find any kind of agreement they got with the repair of the streets.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, but, that street was probably included because the city thought they owned it.
when I grew up,
She told them to
Rex
come
and,
back at
or
7:30.
my brother and my father, they were all into the
Kenny
hedging and marketing and this, that, and the other. I was always out taking care of equipment and animals, you know?
They have been very
And,
easy to work with.
Rex passed away in '83 and
Sure,
Dad
they have to have some kind of
passed away
agreement. if they tear
20
up a
years
ca-
ago.
a City
and,
street or a county street, they have to repair it. We just had to
Big
find that
learning curve.
documentation.
We was over there, and then all of a sudden, I went back out to the vehicle,
You
and I
know
saw
Kevin
that
Wilson?
they were
Kevin
coming
Wilson,
around with a
no?
car involved there, and all of a sudden, yeah, he
Kevin
got real
Arnold,
close.
I'm
That
sorry.
guardrail's not
Kevin
quite
Arnold.
straight anymore, those big tires just.
And they don't slow down either, man, they're,
Guardrail wasn't there on 37, they'd they'd come off the highway.
do you know him?
they just can't.
That's all we got.
And where are they going in there? By the,
Over
by the
here?
church?
She's a sweet lady.
Like they would go around the very far end of that.
She's,
subdivision.
she's president of Home Bank
Dumping the dirt right back.
Dumping it right there where that, where they tore those houses down?
That's just,
at Home Bank.
we're packing
Back
that
in the
dirt crap
80s.
same.
Well, that's,
Yeah, and
Well,
you
she
talk
was-
about
She was a part-time worker.
rollers and those rollers that go over that,
Part-time.
packing that thing like you would.
She was just summer help when she was just getting out of college. She was
Does
teaching
county have
over at
any kind
Indian
of-
Creek.
agreement to tear up a county street that they would repair it, or
We,
county
uh,
road, or?
I'm, had met her
That's a,
with
that's,
Kevin a few times, and then,
Kenny's
I'm on the board at, Manning Cemetery. And,
road.
we went over there and, we got 1 or 2 CDs over there, I think.
That's just a lot of weight on that road, it
through
wasn't
the-
built for that, that
Don't
type
know
of
why,
weight.
I just don't know why somebody just doesn't suggest that they take down one of
They
those
didn't
guardrails
give
and
you
just let
any
them come off
candy
the highway.
down there?
Right now, it's just too
Give her
easy
what
for
she
them to
likes.
do it the way they're doing it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So the,
There is gingerbread houses in the back, and there's a competition
Do we get to eat
going
them?
on.
You
No,
you can
don't
eat them,
get to eat
go ahead
them.
and eat them, because mine's not up here, so
We
go
are
ahead.
voting by toys. So it's one toy, one vote.
Looks like you had a
So we
tree
need-
house back there. Don't eat the treasures, because that's last year's.
So.
That's what she
it's-
told us, wasn't it?
Yeah, she said, they
So
built
it
it last
does-
year and they brought it back this year. so
It's
don't eat it.
entertainment for us, but it's good for the kids. So,
That's on video.
Yes, on video, yeah.
Are we still streaming?
yes.
I just hit Bill with my cane.
It's, I want it documented.
Coffee?
No, we are waiting on Mr. Wampler, Doug,
Oh,
Larry's son.
well, I thought Larry was presenting it for him.
It's a barn. He has started the barn part of it.
Who is representing them?
He is,
He's representing himself?
uh-huh.
You know, I heard stories, and this, I'm just, no validation. Remember when we were gonna have the lake there? That's why they did all that? I heard someone's trying to resurrect that.
I haven't heard that.
Bradley's already sold off most of what he actually had a position on. He's already sold off a lot of his property. Yes, he has.
Well, I heard it was a different.
You're talking about that one that we were talking about a couple of years
Dangerous
ago?
with that.
Yeah, I say so.
Back in '04, '05.
Making it a
This is another person that is over
How
there.
dangerous he is with it not even in his hand. If you could imagine what it's like. in there.
I hear you, Fred.
Another reservoir right there next to Geist. water company.
Oh, the information I got off of you on
Yeah.
land rents and,
Cash rate and stuff.
the fellow that was working for me really bit the hand that fed him.
They can't stop it.
And, he was going on, I got these numbers from Purdue and I went,
Yeah, if you don't know the rules, yeah.
I just held it up and he went,
We used to go through there, walk around the dam,
and he had made
Portage around
several
and keep going.
Harrison, and
proposals and we had agreed on them. And then he took and pulled numbers from out of the blue. And put them down, like, he made it a deal. Back in the spring, if I would plant 50 acres for him, he would harvest 50 acres for me. On paper, he paid me $10 an acre. Old splitter planter, which is $17 to $25.
Down about, halfway down the river to Martinsville.
He paid me 10.
but then there's one right off of,
He was using a combine
Bebos.
that's,
Hang off there, there's a big one
and
in there.
There's one at Eminence too. It's not
86.
designated, but
they paid
if you go
$3,000
north out of
for it.
Eminence and 42 turns
Got,
left, there's an old gravel pit that sits in that woods out there.
He's wanting
and
to
there
charge
must be
me
7 or 8
$30
herons
an
that got
acre to
nests up
harvest.
there. Big, one patch of woods in that field, and there's heron nests.
I loaned him
Almost always,
$10,000 for him to buy a baler.
always nest in sycamore.
Yeah,
I
and that's what these
kept
are,
going,
in
he'd
sycamore trees.
sell hay and have money in his hand, and I
Those
said,
are big nests too.
when do you pay me? Oh, you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's eagles
And,
about everywhere.
we
now.
went to settle up finally.
3 over my
and,
house the other day.
On one piece of paper,
Roadkill.
Yeah,
took
they eat
advantage
anything
of me
that's
6
dead.
times.
They're almost a scavenger.
And, when he first started working for me 7 years ago, I was selling my hay off of my ground.
True.
Every big round bale, I got $10
Franklin
an
wanted
acre,
the turkey,
$10 a
right?
bale. I told him, I mean, he was trying to get started and everything. I said, if you lime it, seed it, and fertilize it, you can have it for 5 years. It's been 7 years. He's not done anything except fertilizer one small section, one spreader load, six tons. And he's taken it, I've got
I
not
couldn't
received any
imagine what a
money
turkey buzzard tastes like.
for 7 years. When I jokingly at the time said something about,
So that body that
I
was
need,
found out
he
there off of
needed to
Henderson Ford
give
and
me
that.
a little bit of profit, since he was borrowing that money off of me. There's no profit in this hay.
That's not the first one that's found out there.
No. They
Using,
find a lot of people.
renting my
don't
tractor
eat.
for $7 an hour,
What about out there at the new one that they put in on 67, Kenny, the little
using the baler that I
parking
had
lot?
loaned him the money to
I've
buy.
not heard of them finding any out
He's
there.
using my semi
I drove
to
down in there
pull
one time
the
and
hay to
and,
sell it. There's no profit.
to see what it was like, and it's pretty neat, but it's
Hear about
private,
those
it's
It's
big.
time and
Go back in
And
there,
What's
it's
he marking his time at?
a lot of trash.
He can't afford to be a farmer, but he's that closely.
so I said,
Oh, I know.
hand your keys in, and he's
I'm
got
very aware
a,
of that.
When I was back there, it was first going in, there wasn't any
Oh.
trash.
In Morgantown, I guess. so.
oh,
Lived in
abstract
Morgantown.
for a piece of property that an ancestor of his once owned.
Her
and I
name
thought
Miller?
He and his father would like to read it. I said, I'd like to get
Summit?
my abstract back, which I still haven't got, and I still haven't got his keys, but haven't seen him in 2 months.
They
They
don't have
took,
any idea.
borrowed another tractor. When it left, he borrowed it twice. When it left, I would fill it up. When it would come back, I'd fill it again.
Guy along Man Road.
And then I took
Yeah,
pictures
yeah, they figured that one out.
of the fuel pump. 158 gallons, I'm out. I put fuel in
There are
that.
3 rivers.
I don't care if you
Three
put fuel
rivers,
in it,
you know,
but there's
several
158
drownings.
gallons missing.
Friend of mine.
He lied. No, I put fuel in it. I filled it back up. No, he didn't. Then he got mad at me.
She's homeless.
Well, I said he was acting like a
Just can't keep
10-year-old
her.
that
She
got
has
caught with his hand in a cookie jar.
That's it. So when he
The fellow I sell real estate with,
my
Who is it? You know, that low head dam's gone up
Brings
there.
it back empty.
One of the,
Oh, damn. I don't know if you got Pier, they drove those in there for some reason, Kenny. I think they're making a ripple in there. I
Make sure that piece of
We're
paper
gonna go in
registered
in the
and
spring and
recorded
finish
off.
pulling them out. The water got too high.
The one behind the old power plant.
In case.
Yeah,
something
the one right there
happens.
at that,
And so it's public knowledge.
How filled it up was that?
I never dreamed he'd do this to me.
good.
Yeah,
And,
but at least you have the evidence.
yeah, but this,
So they silted up so high, there wasn't a whole lot of water
At least
change.
out of,
well, I've known his family's been neighbors for
Where it used to sit and
his,
stepping down a little.
his dad, his brother, or his uncle, two uncles. We rode bicycles together when
And
we
they
were
get stuck in
kids.
that water
His
circulating
one uncle
underneath.
that's, an assistant manager at Lowe's. I remember he's going down a big hill, he's going way too fast, the pedals get away from him. No, he hits the brake. Front brake.
Kenny, was that water hot? Where it was coming out of the fire pump when it's warm?
We gathered that boy up and somebody went to the neighbor's house and
Fish
called
there,
Grant, you
daggone
know,
that fish,
their
they gotta
mother.
go that warm
And,
water.
he was a bloody mess.
Why bass a Cayuga, that's hot more than them white perch and
funny
catch
now, but
level.
probably wasn't funny at the time.
Oh, no. No, we
Have your life
knew
vest
that
on,
we
it'll
were,
still pull you under and drown.
we were gonna get blamed for something.
Not like Williams Dam, no, but they do catfish in there. But Williams Dam's got big, big old catfish. It's still there though, right?
So the Cataract Falls is always the place we always.
That's
fish
got
for.
big catfish in
He
it.
was bailing all
Big
over
old
the country and
catfish.
he drug in, Johnson grass, which
There in 4 or 5
I've
years.
had
They
Johnson
fish
grass right outside the shop. You know, we buy a piece of equipment, take it out there and wash it always in the same place. And then if something comes up, we spray it. And see,
All them Willowbrook guys.
one piece of equipment that came from the south. And I'm still waiting for Palmer Amaranth or something to pop up here.
Well, how big is the dam behind the
So many auctions. As, I think this tractor went through like 6 auctions.
But it stopped all the big
As 2013.
From going up?
200R John Deere.
We need to move though with.
Come on, guys,
I think it's been hit by too many pressure
petitioners are here.
washers.
Welcome, guys.
Starting to peel the paint.
No, we just,
We're going to public hearing for petition S 2010 for preliminary and final plat. Douglas Wampler is requesting approval for a 2-lot minor plat. The property is located in Green Township at 2300 Wampler Road. Mr. Wampler, you please come and state your name.
My name is Larry Wampler. I'm the father of the petitioner.
Where's my, this, there it is. This one we just did, right? Lee, would you, like to describe your subdivision?
Yeah, we have a 7.5 acre plot. We like to divide into 2 lots to build another living area. I live on one side and my son's building a house on the other side to kind of take care of the old man. It ends up with a new lot to be 3.6 acres, I think. We're putting a $350,000, $400,000 unit on the property, new unit, living area.
Okay. Get the area photo in. What's the easement on the south side for?
It was for the property behind the 7 acres I sold earlier.
Oh, okay, okay,
Since then, we've put access to that property.
okay. I just saw that, and I wasn't sure what it was. Any questions for Mr. Wampler? No? Thank you. You have your staff reports? In your packets, so. Do you have anyone else signed up? No. Just Larry and Douglas? Okay. No one else has signed up to talk, so this will close our public portion of our hearing. Any discussion from the board? If no discussion, I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion, we approve petition S-20-10, Wamper minor plat 2300.
We have a motion from Mr. Hill. Do we have a second to approve the plat, the preliminary and final plat?
Second.
Mr. Patrick, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That was easy.
Have you got the originals with you? Are those, no? Okay. Trying to move on fast as we
You
can
need
here.
a place to live, don't you? Maybe he'll build you a house out there. Build you a house out there for
Well, you
$300,000.
move into the Grange.
Not need to rezone that one?
No.
Okay.
Or,
Maybe he'd move you out there in one of his $350,000 homes that he
good luck, guys.
born yet, Keith. Yes, I was. I was 3 when we moved here. Oh, in 55? That's right, you were born in 52, weren't you? Yeah. I forgot how old you were.
So respect your elders.
Sounds like the pot calling the kettle black.
Because we graduated together, that's how I knew how old he was. We both actually got a certificate of graduation too, Bill, before you asked.
I didn't ask.
Now, when's the next one coming in?
Got 2 more.
What did you do to deserve apple pie?
You know what? Judy just likes me. She just, because we play this game called, it's
Pull the
dominoes.
wool over Bill's eyes? Oh.
It's something about train. Mexican train with dominoes. And Judy eats her butt every time. I don't know why.
The mouthful of pie doesn't whine as much.
I don't have to whine as much with pie, so she brings pie out there to keep me quiet. I try to figure that game out. Usually I can play a game enough, I can figure it out. She's got something figured out. The rest of us are getting 50, 60, 70 points, and she's getting 0. So I'm trying to pay attention to what she's doing and how she's doing it and stuff. I won last time, but it was all because the dominoes, the way they fell. Because I actually drew the dominoes when I started my train to go all the way out. Well, everybody else still had their complete set of dominoes. So it went real well for me that night.
Dustin, you working hard or hardly working?
It's so crazy right now.
It is crazy with construction, I know.
Yep.
And
Blooming.
prices are getting really crazy too.
Prices of wood and stuff.
Everything's going up.
25% jump, it's crazy.
Steel's going up again. What's going up again? Steel.
they were sending out mill notices, $200 to $350 a ton increases.
Didn't want that up there. My son's
He's
building a place
beating up on Bill, he's
College.
knocking me over.
On
I'm
College.
going down like a
As you go
domino,
into
what do you think of that?
Wilmington, Off on the left-hand side, the guy that owns
He's a
that
walking disaster area.
place that builds those big trucks, custom trucks that he pulls, cars with and semis and things. It's on the right-hand side there, right as you come off the highway and go down, there's those buildings right there along. Well, he's building just on the left-hand side.
So the new building set back up in there, I seen that today.
What a house.
Oh, yeah, is that a house?
That's a house.
That's a big house it's gonna be.
It's gonna have a swimming pool,
I seen that today when I was
by
back.
barn out there by it. It's gonna,
So they just knocked he knocked everything down that was there, huh?
yep. Bub's actually subcontracting it, my son. And, I've not been in it yet because of my knee, but the roof, if you look, it's flat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's on purpose, because they're gonna have a party deck up on the roof of the house.
I wasn't for sure it was gonna be a house.
It's a house.
Okay. I thought it might end up being something commercial, but
Nope.
I didn't know.
Big house.
That's gonna be big.
Who's that, man?
Well, part of it, if the part that's going up the driveway, the part that's on the left-hand side is the garage.
Okay, so that's gonna be the garage.
That's all,
It's gonna be a good-sized garage.
that's huge garage.
It's a big
So
garage.
then the house is probably as big as it is, only going the other way.
Yeah.
And then a 40 by 80 barn.
The sun.
I don't know what all he's doing back there, but it's amazing.
I didn't think
That's the
NDOT
son?
bought him out.
His business is
I
staying
thought that might
in.
be Steve's boy.
That's the same.
What are they doing?
He's building the house back there to live. And I said, I told Paul, my son, I said, I don't think I remember seeing, years ago, we seen flat roofs. Well, he said, oh, no, they're starting to come back. People that's got the money are starting to build them again.
So,
And I'm thinking,
Why did you put?
why? And then that's when he told me that one of them,
yeah,
But they have
Larry
party deck
spoke, I don't know why.
up on the top.
I asked Douglas and Larry stood up.
you know, so.
Well, no, you.
With enough room for social distancing?
I doubt if they worry too much about it back there.
Can't count,
He
Sandy.
says,
They're
he
all
said the
eight.
guy makes a lot of money building those trucks, those,
It was
it's
7
the
to 1.
650s, tricks, the Ford 650s and stuff, and he builds those and sells them, and then, and
I
they're,
just don't
they're
like that first one,
car
I just don't like
haulers.
using,
and they travel all over and haul race
Property
cars and
access.
stuff with them and
I
things.
just don't like that.
Bub says he'll walk back there and decide he wants something fixed, and Bub says, well, here, Bub come back to him and give him the budget, and Bub says he walks in with $100 bills.
I've dealt with this stuff before.
Wow. I asked him, I said, well, the drugs? He goes, that's just how the people pay him for his business. Million, over $1 million and some dollars.
Maple Grove and Wampler, so it's out in the Green Township?
It's in Bloomington. I don't even know where to tell you.
The
Back
Brides?
behind the mall.
Oh, okay.
If you go toward out of town, back on the road back in through there, there's a house that Perry built. It's $850-some thousand dollars. And it was a house that was
So
already
he,
there.
that's
They
his
just
easement.
went in instead of tearing it all the way down. 'cause
Is that his
Bloomington-
easement that I just asked?
Bloomington
him
has
about?
rules about
Okay.
older houses, so they have to leave
Way to
the
go.
facial part of the house
Anybody's here?
in place, and then they tear down the rest of the house and just build up all the way around it.
Mercy. All right, we would like to have our next hearing. It is petition S 2013 to vacate and replat. You and Mary Beth Stahl are requesting to vacate and replat 2 lots in Falcon Crest subdivision. Property is located in Jefferson Township at 3341 and 3288 Cooper's Hawk Court. Mrs. Stahl? Oh, Dale, you're going to represent?
Good
I
evening.
wasn't looking up, I apologize.
I'm Dale Coffey. I am an attorney here in Martinsville. I'm here tonight on behalf of Hugh and Beth Stahl. My clients are also here tonight to answer any questions that I may not be able to answer for you. As the chair noted, this is a request for a vacation of a plat. Currently, my clients own what is lots 5 and 6 in the Falcon Crest subdivision. It's in Jefferson Township here in Morgan County. Quite simply, what they're asking you to consider doing tonight is vacate the plat and combine lots 5 and 6 into one lot. Lot 5 is an unbuildable lot that they have. Currently, it has located on it various, I guess, utilities that service the Lot 6. And the house that they own and recently completed construction on is located entirely on Lot 6. But on Lot 5, they have their driveway, which leads to their house. Also, they have part of their geothermal loop that is located on Lot 5 as well as Lot 6. They have fiber optic that runs across Lot 5 to service their house on the Lot 6. And also the electric line goes across Lot 5 to service the house on Lot 6. So what they're wanting to do is combine them all, make it one nice big lot. They couldn't build on Lot 5 anyway. This has previously by the county, as far as the assessment goes, been combined for tax purposes. And it's being considered as one lot as far as taxability goes. And that's what they're asking for your consideration tonight. In the subdivision over the years, this is not unusual. It's happened, we believe, on 3 other occasions over the years as far as the vacation of the plat and the replat into one lot. And so that's what they're asking your consideration on tonight. Be happy to address any questions that the board may have about that.
No problems with the subdivision ordinance or anything like that?
There are covenants restrictions subdivision. This particular subdivision does have a covenant restriction that actually allows the combining of lots to make, you'd have a problem if you wanted to make subdivide, but in this case, it does allow for the division and combining lots.
Now, do they have to pay there's a homeowner's fees
I'm sorry?
or fees?
There are homeowners' fees.
Will they require
However, under the covenants, once you combine the lots, then that falls off and you're left with, there's a
One lot?
provision in there for what happens if you do replat and combine into one lot.
A lot of them you have to pay to go ahead and pay 2 fees, so. Dale, we do have a couple of typo corrections we need to correct on the plat.
Okay,
On the, under plat notes number 1,
all right.
it doesn't read properly. It should be, how do you say that? Applicable, yeah, what she said.
Okay.
Instead of a ball, it should be, see what we're saying there?
Yeah.
Applicable instead.
Okay.
It shouldn't be applicable. And down in the plat dedication, on about the 6th line down, I believe it is, it's noted that it's going to be called Lot 56, and it should be 6.
Needs to be 6. Okay. No problem.
Those are the only 2 changes I've seen. Only other question I had is in his surveyor notes, but I'll go over with that with Mike, because after I looked at the aerial photo, it looks like the road doesn't stay in the easement, does it?
It doesn't stay in the easement?
That's what it looks like.
Right.
Because he described as one of the pins being next to an electrical box, but it looks like it should be in the center of the cul-de-sac, and the road's not there.
I think it is off on that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just something that I can ask Mr. Shepherd about.
Okay.
So. That's all I have. Any other questions for Mr. Coffey?
I'm sorry? I think you can ask Mike.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I just read through it, and so it seemed weird to have an electrical box in the middle of the road, so. Yeah, I'll take care of that with Mr. Shepherd. Any other questions for Mr. Coffey? Okay, thank you, Mr. Coffey.
Thank you.
Mrs. Stahl, would you like to speak?
I don't think so. The only other thing I might,
Would you come up and state your name, please?
Dale mentioned that it was in the covenants. We've actually had original covenants that it was in 1999. And then we actually updated those covenants in 2017. It was in both sets of covenants, so it's been there for 21 years.
Okay.
That you can't replat. And I think everything else is covered.
Okay, thank you. You know what that We're having trouble making out this second one,
It's a gentleman in the yellow.
is it? Okay, we're just having trouble they wrote over your name, we're having trouble making it out, so. Mr. Stahl? Are you Mr. Stahl? You are, okay. Would you like to speak? Nope, okay. Mr. Copley spoke, so that's all we have listed. So, we will close the public portion of the hearing. Any comment from the board or discussion? If not, I'll call for a motion.
Petition S-20-13, vacate replat for the stalls.
We have a motion to vacate and replat S 2013. Do we have a second? Mr. Rumball seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Let me get everything out of the way.
Gail, does Franklin know that you're wearing an IU mask?
I saw that IU mask.
I wondered if they knew that. I might just tell Mr. Armour, your buddy.
Okay, Mike built it for you.
Yeah, and then 14 months later, we moved in. Took us 9 months to get out of the house we were in
Oh, did it?
40 years. Yeah. We sold it quick, but it
It was
took
hard
us
to
a
get
while.
out of there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we got everything straightened, and people are really
Good,
happy.
good.
That's pretty good, graduate from Franklin College and wearing an IU mask.
Oh, he graduated from Franklin? Well, that's where my son went. He probably went to law school at IU though, right?
I imagine.
His daughter went to IUPUI and my son went to Franklin. And she went to IU Dental School.
Is she the dentist now?
Hygienist.
Hygienist. Okay.
And IUPUI was about a quarter of what Franklin charges you. I'm serious, man. Franklin is
doubt that
high.
Son started.
Yeah, those little private schools.
He needs to get going, his wife's in labor.
Oh, you're hoping.
Right there? Oh, yep.
Well, we'll do it quick for you then.
Say no, that way you can run.
Just right up to the mic. We'll get you in quick. Our next one, public hearing for Z 2015 to rezone. Caleb and Ally Bright are requesting to rezone property from R1 to Ag. The property is in Green Township near the southwest intersection of Maple Grove and Wampler Road. I believe this is right behind the piece we just platted.
Yeah, same place.
When I asked him what that easement was for, I would assume. So, Mr. Bright, would you like to explain?
I run a hay and cattle operation, and legally, for us to be able to have customers come pick up hay and then our freezer beef at the farm, we're supposed to be agriculture, which it's a farm anyway, so I don't know how it got residential in the first place, but that's what it needs to be for us to be able to do what we need to do. So that's really the only reason.
I think it was rezoned because Mr. Wampler was thinking about subdividing that one
Yes.
time. So,
Big lake.
yeah, lake, yeah.
Oh, they were gonna put a lake there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions for Mr. Bright?
No.
Nope.
Yes. Yep.
Are you related to the Peregrine Brights?
That's my dad, Jeremy and
father?
Lori. Yep.
How many cattle are you gonna run?
Probably 10 or 12 head there. We've got other farms that we raise the majority of the beef on.
First baby?
Yep, first one.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nervous?
A little bit. A little bit. I think you're supposed to be.
I don't know why he's nervous. She should be
Girl.
nervous.
Yeah, little girl.
All right, we'll move on. We'll quit. That's all we need. If you like, you can go ahead and sit down if you
Okay.
want to. We have no one else signed up. Any discussion or comments from the board? If not, I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion to move a favorable on item number Z-20-15. Move to the commissioners for a favorable recommendation.
We have a motion for a favorable recommendation for Z 2015. Do we have a second? Mr. Patrick seconds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Go have a baby.
I didn't, is Steve his father? Which one's his father?
What?
Which right is his father?
I don't know.
You know, Steve, the self is. That is that.
Long. Peden, do we have an attorney's report today?
No, I.
Oh, you did.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. Thank you, Mr. Pete. Plan Director,
Next time you go to the bathroom.
nothing to add?
Which one of those castles back there is yours, Laura? You're not? You don't want us to vote for you because we're working with you?
Yeah, bring in
Oh.
toys and,
To bring toys in.
yeah, bring a whole bunch of toys in and vote multiple times
Do
for
they have to,
multiple
do they have to
houses.
be new?
Good ones.
Throw something out there, I didn't.
I think we do have agenda items for our next meeting, correct? Okay, so there will be a meeting. It's January 11th, 2021. Anything else need to be brought in front of the board?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Guys, have a good holiday.
Happy New Year.
Call for a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Seconded. She
I
nodded.
tried to make the
All in
other
favor,
one
say
think we
aye.
were good at it.
Aye.
Everyone for showing up. Possible.
That was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Yep.
Mr. Bright come in here
Walk
with
through
the
the
right
house.
excuse, didn't he? I'm gonna have a baby. Okay, you're dismissed.
One from our one.
Wife's hand is she?
Steve's grandson.
Is that the one that used to mow yards? Yes. Right? Yeah, okay. I know who it is.
I've got everything out.
He doesn't.
I gotta go back and look at this house, Bill. See if I wanna bring any.
You're welcome.
I got a bunch of stuff I can wrap.
Break the chimney off, bring it up so I can eat it.
One more piece of candy since it's here.
I don't know if they need to be wrapped. I think they just need to be brought in. Someone else will do the wrapping.
Do what? Well, I don't have any time issue. No. Do you want to recycle that or what? I'll try to bring you fish tomorrow. Oh. Hmm?
Who did the tree?
You'll like these amberjack I bring you. It's not a real, they're not a real white fish they're more like a sailfish type meat. They're thicker, more thick meat.
I could eat fish every day of the week.
You know, shellfish and shark, they all have that little texture, and that's the kind of texture. So it'd be really